Hi and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist you in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today we're going to be doing a video on the Mars retrograde. That's right, it is that time, it is that season. The Mars retrograde begins on September 9th, 2020, when Mars stations retrograde, and it ends on the 13th of November when Mars stations direct. And so we're going to get into the meaning of all of that. This is the beginning date of the Mars retrograde on the 9/9 portal is so incredibly powerful. I cannot even stress how powerful this is. This entire Mars and Aries transit has been and will continue to be so potent, so intense, and so incredibly empowering as we are activating the masculine side of our essence, right? We are refining that. We are stepping back into our empowerment. This entire second half of 2020, that's what it's about. If we had to boil it down to one thing, it's about stepping into our power. It's about understanding where we've given our power away and taking that power back. Mars is the warrior planet, right? Mars is the planet that represents the most primal aspects of the masculine side of our nature. Mars represents our stamina, our ambition, our willpower, our drive to succeed, our passions, our desires, right? Our sexuality. Mars is the planet that rules the sign of Aries. So the fact that Mars is going retrograde and is transiting in its home sign right now just amplifies these energies and makes them that more profound and that much more powerful. So we are really looking at this Aries Mars energy and fine-tuning this and understanding what that means for us, right? Aries Mars, it's that instigating sign, right? It's that first sign in the zodiac. It's that energy of us putting ourselves out there in the world, defining and understanding who we are, and making the choices and the decisions that we need to make in order to become the person that we're meant to be. It's about courage, right? The aim of Aries is to develop courage. A lot of people look at the sign of Aries and think that means that they are like an Aries comes into this world full of courage, but that's not true. Courage is the ability to walk through fear, right? It doesn't mean that we're not afraid. It means that we walk through that fear anyway. And that's what we're learning how to do right now. We're learning to look our demons in the face, to look our fears in the face, and to walk through them anyway, to keep going. This is like that energy of like, it doesn't matter how many times you fall down, as long as you pick yourself back up again. This is such a defining time, this second half of 2020. It is so imperative as we move forward as a collective and as individuals within that collective that we stand in our power, that we find our voice, that we find what it is that we're passionate about, what it is that we burn for, and we fight for that. This is the activation of that warrior that lives within each and every single one of us. And it's about learning how to channel and utilize those energies properly. So we had the Mars in Aries transit, which began at the end of June. And at the beginning of July, we had a conjunction between Chiron and Mars at 9 degrees of Aries. And this was very significant. And just as I'm saying this now, I'm realizing that that's 9/9, right? Because they're both at 9 degrees. And this Mars retrograde cycle begins on 9/9, which is the 9/9 portal, and we're going to get into that and how that plays into all of this too. But that's really interesting to note, okay? So 9 degrees, and when they were at conjunct in 9 degrees, this showed us sort of some of the energies that we're looking at during this Mars in Aries transit, right? We're looking at these deep wounds as far as our empowerment goes, as far as being able to step into our power, as far as being able to feel as though we are capable of going after what we want, of voicing what it is that we need, of pursuing what it is that sets our soul on fire. So all of these wounds, these childhood wounds, these past life wounds, all the things that are holding us back from going after what we want are going to be brought up and highlighted during this Mars and Aries transit and this Chiron in Aries transit. And so that sort of set the stage for a lot of the things that we're going to be experiencing. And we can see what we've experienced as far as our empowerment goes, the situations that have challenged us and called us to step up into our power, that have shown us where we still feel powerless, and asked us to look within ourselves and find that fire, find that spark within us, marshal those inner resources to be able to overcome those obstacles, and to understand that those obstacles were really only created by us, right? We have the power to overcome anything because we are creator beings, right? We create our reality, and so we can change our reality. And stepping into the understanding of that as well, taking responsibility for that. This transit is a lot about taking responsibility, understanding our actions and our reactions, and how they are affecting others, how they are affecting us, and how they are in fact creating our lives. And so this is really empowering energy when we're able to take ownership of that. This transit, this retrograde, right? So we've seen through the when Mars was moving direct, we've seen sort of what we've experienced as far as these issues of empowerment go. All of these issues surrounding that. And now this retrograde period is a period of a slowdown, right? Retrogrades are when a planet appears to be moving backwards in the sky. So it's asking us to take things internally, right? It's kind of turning down the fire a little bit as far as the outward manifestations, and really calling us to go within. And so there are outward circumstances that we will still experience, and what those are really doing is triggering this deep internal process within us as we are reevaluating. We're seeing things from different angles. We're really getting a chance to kind of like step back, reevaluate, see like our dreams and our ambitions for ourselves have been becoming more and more clear throughout this transit and throughout the second half of 2020. And they will continue to do so. But now we get that chance to kind of look at that and be like, okay, do I truly resonate with this? Is this truly where I want to go and what I want to do? What have I been doing? What are the actions, right? Because Mars is that masculine energy. It's all about action. What are the actions that I have taken? And are those giving me the results that I'm looking for? And if not, what can I do differently? What has been coming up for me in terms of my empowerment, in terms of my belief in my own capabilities? And what needs to be worked through? What needs to be released so I can get to the next level of my evolution as a soul, right? So we're being asked these questions. We have this Mars retrograde beginning, and we're out of the exact conjunction, but still within a few degrees of both Eris, the feminine warrior planet, right? True black moon, which is the repressed feminine, the repressed and wild feminine energy. All right. So there is so much, and there's many aspects being made to Venus throughout this Mars retrograde as well. So this is really interesting because we have the interplay of all of these feminine planets, and some of these really, like Eris, like the feminine warrior, right? True black moon, the repressed, the wild, the rebellious feminine. And so we're seeing this interesting interplay of these masculine and feminine warrior energies, right? And sort of that synchronize and synthesizing of those two aspects of ourself as the true warrior, right? Which comes from and emanates both that feminine and that masculine energy, can be born within us. And so we will be receiving opportunities throughout this Mars retrograde to really understand how our own inner masculine and feminine energies are working together to allow us to create and manifest what it is that we desire. And some of these interplays of these energies within us may be seen outwardly in our relations with people who embody these masculine and feminine energies. So that's going to be something really interesting to witness. But we really want to pay attention to how these energies are playing out within us. This is definitely an activation period of the divine warrior feminine, but it's also an activation period of the masculine warrior. And like we said, the synthesizing of those energies. So this is so intensely powerful, so very, very powerful. And we get to understand, how is my masculine energy working to support my feminine energy? How are they able to unite, to come together in order to achieve what needs to be achieved, in order to fight for what needs to be fought for, to stand up for the things that need to be stood up for, right? How am I doing that? How am I supporting that beautiful, intuitive, creative flow of my feminine energy? The ways that my feminine energy wants to be free, right? How am I supporting that and fueling that and being the structure and the stability around that? So that's a really beautiful and interesting energy that we are experiencing. We also have Mars starting out this retrograde in a square to Saturn. And so we are going to be seeing, and this is going to continue to be highlighted, all those areas where we feel blocked as far as outer circumstances, right? Like Saturn represents the outer world, time, right? Structure, rules, regulations. So we're going to be butting heads with some of those things. We may feel Mars in Aries wants to go, right? And we've been in that mentality. But Mars retrograde is asking us to slow down. And so this may be challenging, and it may feel more challenging, especially in the beginning of this retrograde with this square to Saturn, because we don't like being boxed in, right? Aries is that energy that can be a bit reckless sometimes, a bit of that short fuse energy, right? Like act first, think later. And so that's what this Mars retrograde is asking us to do, is to slow down and to look at where we may have been doing that in our lives, both not just during this transit, but over the course of our lifetime, right? And how has that been serving us? And how can we sort of slow that down and master that energy, right? How can we become the empowered version of that warrior, like we're talking about, right? And really master and own that energy and utilize that energy appropriately, channel it appropriately, right? We've seen a lot of people who have been more angry lately. Confrontation has been escalating. People are experiencing this warrior activation and they're not knowing what to do with that energy. Aries energy is really amazing and potent when it has a battle that's worth fighting. But if Aries doesn't have a battle that's worth fighting, if Mars does not have a battle that's worth fighting, it will fight anything and everything. And so we are seeing that, and that is just showing us the ways that we don't want to do things, right? We have to have compassion for people who are going through that and to show them how to own that energy, how to master and stand in that energy and channel that with integrity, right? Channel that in a direction that is productive. So this retrograde is giving us a chance to slow down and see that. And it's giving us a chance to look at the structures in place in our lives that are not supporting the forward momentum that we're wanting to achieve. It's having us look at the structures within our own minds, right? Within our own hearts that are hampering us from that. This is a time period where we're going to get very in touch with what is in our hearts, right? Any of these hidden passions and desires, anything that we may have been denying to ourselves during a retrograde cycle, becomes more clear. And so we may be really seeing where we're being drawn to, who we're being drawn to, what we're being drawn to. And it may almost feel obsessive at some points, like we're full of so much passion for these things. And if we have been repressing or suppressing our desires and our passions, then this may feel overwhelming, like it's just boiling over the surface and almost consuming us. But we want to pay attention to where it is that we're being drawn to and who and what it is that we're being drawn to right now. This Mars retrograde is happening, or it's Mars's stationing retrograde, I should say, on the 9/9 portal. And so this is really important. And there will be a video coming out within the next couple days on the 9/9 portal itself. But this is the number 9 resonates with self-empowerment, right? It resonates with our divine life purpose. It is a call to action for light workers. The number 9 especially resonates with light workers. And so those of us who are light workers or light warriors in whatever way, whatever that means to you, healers, right? are really being called to action. All of us, in whatever capacity it is that we came here to serve, that purpose is becoming more clear. And if we are ignoring that, or we're not sure if we're ready to embrace that, it's just going to be slapping us in the face during this time. This is so much about that. Our passion, our purpose. What was it that you were put here on earth to do? Why did you come here? Right? We are beginning to understand that, and we cannot ignore that call, because that call is becoming so loud and so strong. And so I'm looking over my notes to see if there's anything else that I wanted to go over. Yeah, that's the gist of it right there, you guys. If that's not enough, right? I think that's a lot of energy to work with. It is so powerful and so profound. And we just really want to listen and pay attention to where it is that our heart's guiding us. The true warrior is guided by his or her heart. Right? That is, we want to learn how to tune into that portal of our hearts as we move forward. We want to learn how to listen to that, how to lead with that, how to fight from that place of love, right? We are spiritual warriors. And so we want to channel that energy. We want to utilize this energy. We want to really look at what this retrograde is showing us in terms of our empowerment, in terms of our ability to stand in our power, to go after what it is that we want to achieve, what it is that we want to achieve. And we want to really address anything that's coming up so that we can, as Mars moves direct on the 14th of November, we want to be able to move forward with confidence, to really be able to take advantage of that energy as it picks back up again and go after whatever it is that we are wanting to go after. And we do not want anything hindering us in that process. This is a chance to release all of that stuff that is holding us back, that is not serving us. This is our opportunity to work through that and release that. If you guys would like assistance with that, I do personal readings. I also do incredibly powerful energy healings. I work with angelic energies. I do a type of healing called Belvaspata, angelic healing of the heart. And it can work. We can work through traumas. We can work through limiting beliefs. We can work through inner child wounds, past life stuff, right? Absolutely anything that we can set the intention to work through, the angels can facilitate that. It can be so incredibly potent and so incredibly powerful. I also do personal astrological ascension charts, transit charts, where you can look at where the planets are transiting, where these energies are in your natal chart. You can go to a website like astro.com, plug in your birth information, a chart will be generated, and just take a look at where Mars is right now transiting in Aries. And I feel terrible because I didn't write down the exact degrees. I believe Mars is going to be at around 28 degrees of Aries when he begins his retrograde cycle. And just going through and looking through where it is. So as you can see, I'm pulling some cards now, and I'm just checking the time for the timestamp. And we're going to see what energies are coming up, what advice the cards have for us for this Mars retrograde. Okay, and so we have the second house owning. So this is all about our material resources, right? This is about how we leave our mark in the material realm. So it's marshaling those resources. This is that ambition, right? This is coming out with the fire card, desire. This is our ambition. This is our drive. This is how we're going forward to achieve what it is that we want to achieve. How are we leaving our mark in the material realm? A lot of people are going to be concerned, I'm feeling, with finances and with career in general, and just like, how do I create a reality that is stable, that also represents my truth and my passion and my power, right? We've got this desire card. Our desires are like, a lot of people, there's going to be desires activated around finances, like how much money am I looking to make, right? What is the kind of life that would be comfortable for me? What is it that I need in terms of my possessions, my financial world, my career, right? All of that. What is it that I'm desiring, and how am I going to go about about getting that. It's that stability. A lot of people desiring stability, and this makes sense with all the upheaval that we have going on in the world right now. Like really having that burning desire for something that is stable, for something that is solid, right? This is the second house, which is ruled by Taurus. And so really wanting and needing all of those material comforts and those material things. And then we have Neptune's sacrifice coming after desire. So this is like, what am I willing to sacrifice in order to attain the things that I desire, and in order to attain the status and the level of comfort that I wish to have in the world? And for some of us, it's that sort of like that balance between stability and passion, right? Like, where am I willing to take a gamble is what some of us are also looking at. Where am I willing to take a risk? Am I willing to take a risk for the things that I'm passionate about, for the things that I love? Some people may be looking at sort of weighing their financial obligations, and this may be one of those things that seems to be sort of a stumbling block that the Saturn energy can represent for some people, is this area of finances and stability. And like, I want to create this certain life, I want to go after my passion, I'm finding my purpose, but like, I also need to make money and I also need to provide. And so how do I do that? How do those things go together? And of course, we know the answer to that. Where our passion and our purpose lies, so lies our greatest abundance, right? But it's about learning that and trusting and knowing that, and trusting in ourselves and our ability. For a lot of us, it's like learning how to trust in our ability to provide for ourselves and stand on our own 2 feet. This is so important for people right now, this energy of learning how to stand on our own. And so there are sacrifices that are going to have to be made in order to achieve this. And this is that retrograde period where we pull back from all of this energy a little bit. We really reevaluate this and see where we need to make adjustments and what adjustments we are willing to make, Jesus, in order to have the things that we want. There's a lot of cards, you guys. We're going to go and we're going to see what we're feeling from these. We may not be taking all of these, you guys. But Mars, absolutely, we're taking this one. This is just confirmation. This is what we're talking about, that energy. And this says force, right? But we're learning how to exert our will without using unnecessary force, right? We're learning what is the perfect amount of force in order to accomplish what it is that we are ready to accomplish right now. And when we see the South Node, right? This is life's debts. This is the karma. This is some of the karma that we're clearing out. This is some of the stuff that we're being asked to release right now so that we can move forward on our path. This is the old energy, right? This is the energy that we're comfortable in, the energy that we're used to, right? But the North Node is the energy that we're moving into, that we're aspiring to. So we're looking at our past energy. We're looking at the ways that we have behaved, the ways that we have utilized our masculine energy, our force in the past, and whether those have helped us and the ones around us or harmed us. And we're releasing any of those old behaviors and tendencies and ways of wielding this energy that did not work out very well for us in the past. Then we have Jupiter return benefits. And so I like this because I'm feeling this energy a lot. Like we are going to be, goes right in line. And it's funny because I put it down right on top of the second house card, right? Which is all about finances and stuff. Like there are incredible benefits coming to people. Like this energy, Jupiter is the great benefactor, right? The planet of blessings. And there are so many blessings that are waiting for us as soon as we step into our empowerment and step into our calling, right? Like we talked about, this is confirmation as far as I'm concerned. The way it's sitting here with these 3 cards, this is just confirmation of what we talked about when you find your purpose, the universe conspires on your behalf in order to make that a reality, right? When we step onto our divine path, we are so supported. And we may have that. This is reminding me of something that I learned in a class that I took recently with the lovely Nadia Shah, where we talked about We talked about this beginner's luck and these beginner's blessings when we start out on this path. And so some people may experience that, and that's just a way of the universe kind of like pushing us forward and giving us that little bit of inspiration, helping us to trust a little bit, letting us know that it has our back. It's like synchronicities. I feel like people want to watch out for synchronicities and just those little signs from spirit telling them that they are on the right path. These little blessings that start getting littered in our path as soon as we begin really pursuing our life's purpose and our life's work and really committing to that. We're being asked to commit to that right now, right? Like this is the second house. This is Taurus energy. This is very stable, committed energy. I'm just feeling this energy coming through of being asked to, once we're activated, right, being asked to then stand in that power and commit to that purpose once we start realizing and understanding what that is. And we have that Uranus genius energy behind us, that energy of reinvention, that energy of learning to think outside the box, seeing things from different perspectives. This is that perspective shift and that way that we're able to view things through a different lens as we're going through a retrograde period. And Uranus is in retrograde right now too. I did a Uranus retrograde video as well. I definitely encourage you guys to check that out. Like Uranus is coming in, divine intervention, baby, like removing whatever needs to be removed from our path in order for us to reach our highest potential. And so that may look like chaos if we don't want to let some of this stuff go. But if we do, there are so many blessings in store for us on the other side of that. Yeah, and we're gonna leave it with that right now. Let's see if one more card wants to come out. We're not taking a bunch of cards. If one more card, and of course, all right. Two of the cards that I wasn't going to talk about came out, so I guess they wanted to be heard. So we have the Cancer I Feel card. We have the Scorpio I Transform card. And then we have the Aries I Am card. Of course, that would come out, right? These are the energies that we're in, that we're dealing with right now. And so it's really utilizing our intuition. And this is when we talked about like being led, the true warrior is led from the heart. It's that kind of energy. It's that energy of really getting in tune with like our passions. Like we will feel those. We will know in our heart what those are, and allowing our hearts to guide us, allowing us to get, this is the merging, the Cancer is the feminine energy, right? The mother energy. So and it's funny because I put it down right on top of the Mars card here. And so, which is the masculine energy, right? So it's the merging of those energies, learning how to work in balance, in tandem, right? With those two energies within ourselves and with those energies in the outer world as well. Learning how to be powerful, but also nurturing, right? Strong and yet compassionate, to not yield in those times when we need to stand firm, but at the same time to be pliable and to be empathetic, right? It's all of this energy. It's really tapping into, it's like with the Cancer and the Scorpio card back to back right here. This is, and then next to the Uranus card, which is, like we said, like that divine, like inspired thought. I'm just feeling so much heavy intuitive energy coming through. Like this Mars retrograde is also going to be activating our intuition in some really interesting ways. And I'm feeling this, and this is coming in, I guess, with that Taurus energy too, that really feeling that in our bodies, right? And we want to be paying attention to our bodies. During this Mars retrograde, this is a slowdown of those energies, right? Mars also represents our stamina. And so really understanding that, right? And taking extra good care of our bodies, especially in the beginning of this, when we also still, at least for the beginning of this transit, have the Sun in Virgo, which rules the 6th house, which is about health. So we want to be taking care of our health. We're going to be shown any areas where that needs greater attention as well, because we cannot move forward and be this incredibly potent force of change in the world and in our own personal lives if we are not able to care for ourselves. So this is also with that Cancer energy, that nurturing of ourselves, that nurturing and mothering of ourselves, and really learning that balance, learning how to care for our physical vessel so it can be as vital as it possibly wants to be. And this is also with the Scorpio energy. It's reminding me of that other aspect of the Mars energy that we're going to be feeling, which has to do with our sexuality. And when we also have Mars making these aspects to Venus, making these aspects to Black Moon Lilith, which is the repressed feminine, the wild feminine, has a lot to do with feminine sexuality. Like, our sexuality is going to be, we have been, a lot of us, going through a sexual revolution during this Mars and Aries transit. And so we're really going to be looking at that as well. We're going to be looking at how we use our sexuality, right? Do we use that? Do we feel empowered in that? Those instances where we felt that our power was taken away, sexually speaking, and reclaiming that power as well. Do we use sexuality as a weapon? And has that worked for us in the past? And some of this may play out, like we were saying, in those relationships, those masculine and feminine energetic relationships. And we may see this played out in real life. It's this understanding of all of the aspects of our sexuality and the way that that's been used. Black Moon Lilith, it's those shadow energies, right, too. So those shadow energies of that. Scorpio is very much, it's that plutonic energy. It's that energy of the shadow. So really digging deep into that stuff as well. And just this energy of this complete transformation that we are going through as we fully step into this Aries I am energy. And we know how powerful that statement is, I am, right? When we say I am, we are making a contract with the universe. We are telling the universe what we are, and spirit matches that. So make sure that we are using empowering statements. This is all about empowering energy, empowering statements, empowering affirmations, right? Just really continuing to call in and only speaking, being careful of the words we speak. And it's funny because the Mercury retrograde is under here, reinvention, as I'm talking about speech and communication, right? The way that we speak and the way that we think about ourselves, really working on seeing, right? That's why I'm wearing the war paint today. Like, I'm ready to go. I am fully embracing that energy. Like, if you're having a day where you're struggling to find your empowerment, you're struggling to find your voice, try putting on the war paint and see what happens. I'm telling you, I felt so energized and so ready to go as soon as I slapped on this paint today, getting ready for this video. It was so much fun. Like, and you don't have to physically, if you feel silly walking around like that, right? You don't have to do it like this, but paint on the metaphorical war paint. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, I am powerful. I am a creator, right? I am a conscious creator. I am. What are you? What do you want to be? What are you in the process of becoming? And it's not becoming like you weren't that already. It's like you're getting rid of all the stuff that hid that truth from you, right? So really stepping into that. I am unstoppable. I am a force to be reckoned with. I am a warrior. I am strong. I am peaceful. I am effective in the world. I am creating my reality with every choice and every word in every single moment. Really stepping into that and owning that. And then we have the 7th house partners on the bottom of the deck. So this may be a make it or break it time for partnerships. As we're with all of these masculine and feminine energies and the interplay of that, this activation of our empowerment, people really stepping into their power and just being called toward our purpose and seeing what's really aligning with that in all aspects of our lives. We may see partnerships dissolving. We may see new partnerships beginning. And then we have Libra under that, which is all about partnership, right? And water element sensing, that intuition again coming through. I'm going to do an Isis oracle card as well. See what energies we have for this Mars retrograde from the Isis oracle. You guys know me. I like to go all in with these readings and really just get you guys as many different energies and different perspectives as possible. So what does Isis have to tell us? Okay. We have Divine Guardian, protection of the winged mother. Isis has your back, guys. Life restored, priestess of the phoenix. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have rising sun, the divine solar child reborn. And so that is beautiful. And then Eye of Horus under that. awakening divine perception. And we could keep going, but we're going to keep it. We're not going to get too crazy with this, but we are, I mean, this is just confirmation that there is so much protection, right? Like, we are in this process of learning how to be stable on our own, right? Learning that we are powerful, that we can protect ourselves. We can protect the ones that we love, right? We can step into that role. But we are being supported and guided by so many, whatever beings, whatever guides you have that you work with. If you don't know, like, just reach out to them. Ask for signs and synchronicities. Ask for names. Ask to be pointed in the direction of who it is. You choose to, anyone that you're drawn to work with, you can consider that one of your guides, right? You would not be drawn to work with them if they were not ready and willing to work with you as well. And so I'm looking to try to find the divine guardian here. Here we go. You are venturing through a time of significant spiritual growth and healing. There are many changes occurring internally, and they will be reflected in your external world soon also, right? This is the retrograde season. This is that internal process before the external really explodes, right? Out of this. But right now, it's that internal healing that's going on, that's happening, that healing of that internal masculine, also of that feminine, right? I love how these energies are interplaying and healing together right now. It's so beautiful. You are protected during these times by the love and strength of the winged mother, Lady Isis. You can relax and allow your transformation to happen. Let your divine guardian protect you now as you learn to let go and trust in your own unfoldment for the greatest good. Big spiritual growth can bring difficult challenges. Through such challenges, an initiate can gain wisdom, power, and awareness, and leave behind fears that once held them captive, free from past restrictions, free to live a life that is truly extraordinary and inspirational. Yet the challenges can feel deeply confronting. The initiate may be tested to stay true to their own beliefs, even if their loved ones do not understand or support them. Or they may be required to let go of what they have known to embrace something completely unfamiliar. And this may be uncomfortable for them, and they may fear losing love, support, safety, or friendship as they venture into a new life. These kinds of spiritual growth opportunities are presented when the initiate is ready for them, even though this readiness might not seem obvious. The oracle of the divine guardian arises because you, dear initiate of the light, are venturing into a significant time on your spiritual path. There is a process cooking within you, and which may already be mirrored in your outer life circumstances that are actually challenging you to grow. It might look like an opportunity, or it might appear as a crisis, but no matter what the appearance, you are being guided to take the risks that intuitively feel right for you and have faith. I love how this is bringing it right back to the beginning of the reading here. You will be safely guided by the unconditional love of the Lady Isis, with wings outstretched and the sword of truth in hand, protected from false images that would lead you astray from your true path. This oracle is also confirmation that you have been receiving impressions and inner nudges that are from your higher guidance, which has been helping you with situations that are currently unfolding in your life and will continue to do so. You are, spiritually speaking, on the right track. No matter whether life circumstances appear to be heading in one direction at one moment and then in a completely different direction the next, or whether you feel things are a certain way in truth only to find that the next day they seem to be different. These are all just signs of growth into a new consciousness. Life does not have to be fixed or even clear at all times in order for you to be safe. Isis is with you, all is well. This oracle comes as guidance that if you have been worried about another, they are protected. Whether this is someone alive at this time or a being that has departed the physical world and returned to spirit, they are free from suffering, pain, and trauma now, and all is well. If you wish to send blessing to such a beloved, you can do so. And they will receive that blessing, essentially. They will know. They're right there beside you. I can feel them. I know that they are. You can feel them too if you open your heart and you allow yourself to feel and connect with that. You can feel them. You can ask them for signs that they're present, that they're well. They are. They're there. There's just so many people, right, protected by so many beautiful beings, and of course by loved ones as well. Yeah, I felt that very deeply. Very deeply. Yeah, that's resonating very strongly. For someone, if not multiple people watching this, that there is somebody out there that is watching over you and wants you to know that they are with you, and wants you to just open your heart to being able to feel and sense the love that they have for you and the support that they're providing you in the spiritual realm. And they're speaking to you. It's just like learning to pay attention and to be open to that. And that process in and of itself can be very healing. Yeah. And so then we have life restored, which is all about, I believe, past life. I'm feeling like some past life restoration energies going on with this. Spiritual resurrection is gifted to you now. Whatever part of you or your life you thought to be dead is being revived and will flourish back into life. Just as the phoenix rises from the fire, transitioning from death into life, so too will you rise again, healed and renewed. Life restored brings messages that a trauma-ending struggle or apparent defeat is not the end of the story for you now. What may appear to be an ending can sometimes simply be the forces of ancient feminine power flowing into new pathways, pulling energy away from old forms so that they can transition into new forms. This can take short or long periods of time. It could be over days or years, months, weeks, or decades. It doesn't matter how long something appears to have been decaying. It will spring into life at the right time, all in divine timing, right? Just as the river Nile subtly adjusts its course over time, so too will the river of light that flows through you, filling you with life force and divine energy, move with innate wisdom. You can trust what is happening for you now. Something important to you is coming back to life. It might even feel like you are coming back to life after a period of increasing emotional numbness, physical or psychological struggle, or spiritual disillusionment. It might also be a lifestyle, practice, business, or relationship, new or old, that is coming to life now. You are guided by Divine Priestess of the Phoenix, Sister Isis. Divine Priestess of the Phoenix, Sister Isis, to turn your face to the sun. Just as the scarab beetle follows the movement of the sun, you are encouraged to focus on the light and life that is seeking you now. Do not resign yourself to the old way that things have been. Let go of the past. Be brave and bold, and allow the Phoenix Priestess to inspire you to realize that the return to life, the restoration, the resurrection is upon you now. Have hope and optimism. Just because something has fallen away in the past does not mean that it will not have value and be able to grow in the present moment. Take what is going to be offered in your life, the rebirth that is happening, into your wide open arms now, and be assured that you have transitioned through the energies of death and into life now. Peace to you, dear initiate of light. The past is over. Enjoy your rebirth. So this is beautiful. I'm feeling this as like, for some of you guys, past life soulmates being drawn in. Really, like I said, that past life energy, I was feeling very strongly with this as well. So reclaiming some of those energies, right? Some of those, like reclaiming also like these old stories, right? And healing the trauma of those stories and sort of releasing all of that, releasing all of these old wounds, releasing all of these just like incredible healing around the past that is allowing for a regeneration and a rebirth in whatever way that means. For some people, this is people, this is situations. These are things that we thought that we lost being restored and returning to us in a new form. And that new form may be the same, like if this were, say, a relationship, that relationship returning, but it's not the same as it was before. It's been renewed, it's been restored, right? This may be past life soul gifts returning. This may be whatever it is, these aspects of ourselves that we thought were lost, right? Returning to us, but new and improved and better and more healed, right? This is just like this energy of complete triumph when we have these two cards together. Like I'm just feeling this, like anything that is falling apart or did fall apart in the past, fell apart so that new life could be breathed into it, right? So that something new could be born from it. And yeah, this is really beautiful energy. I'm feeling this is a beautiful energy for twin flames as well. We have the phoenix, which is a representation, right? Like the phoenix energy is also twin flame energy. So it's that energy of rebirth. When we're talking about this interplay of the masculine and the feminine energies, the masculine and the feminine warrior energies, right? And the activation of that, the activation of our life path and our purpose. Like, I'm really feeling this for some people as being called back, as far as that's concerned, like a rekindling and a rebirth of that experience in whatever way, shape, or form that means. And definitely a calling back and a reclaiming of those aspects of ourself, our inner masculine, also our inner feminine, but really that inner masculine. And it's just really understanding just not taking anything at face value right now, not taking anything personally. As these aspects of our lives are unraveling, they're doing so that something more beautiful can be born in its place. And then we have the rising sun, and this is a beautiful card right here. And I'm going to read the energies of this for you guys as well, if I can remember my alphabet here. Here we go. These cards are just gorgeous. A dark phase and struggle is over. A new phase is upon you, one of hope, glory, light, and triumph. It is won through boldness, persistence. Even when you felt like giving up, you chose to stay strong, to surrender to the divine, and to continue with the path. You have been through much, and now victory is upon you, beloved. For the divine solar child, a new consciousness within you is born. As we journey into the ancient feminine, there are many, many times when we meet her dark face. And so this would be like the Lilith, right? We must be patient, accepting, allowing, and the Eris energy. Often what we meet are the difficulties of birth, literal and symbolic. We might feel great emotional or physical pain, spiritually bereft, alone and yearning for deeper union, perhaps even wondering if what you seek could be a genuine experience or if it is the stuff of daydreams and fantasies. During times of despair and struggle, we come back to our hearts, searching for faith within, searching for signs to support us as we take the long journey down the spiritual birth canal into love in even greater expression. It might take us weeks, months, or many, many years to birth ourselves over and over again into more of our divine essence, right? The phoenix rising and burning and rising and burning and rising and burning. Some birthing processes that are deeply profound will feel as though they take most, if not all, of our lifetime on this planet. At another level, many lifetimes will constitute one birth process. However, no matter how much we encounter the inner workings of the womb of the divine feminine, there are always moments of entering the light of birth into a new world, as a new being, into a reality transformed. These moments are precious and herald the beginning of a new level of divinity expressed, often in deeply creative new ways. The divine solar child being born brings new light into your life, likely to express itself in multiple forms. Revived in new relationships, new inspiration and opportunities in your work and spiritual life, more love and enjoyment, new or more energized community, greater well-being and experience in your body, creative abilities you didn't even realize you had, opening up effortlessly as you surrender to allow the body and creative faculty to flow. These are some of the gifts that are given to you by the universe at the cosmic baby shower for the birth of the divine solar child. The sweetness of the gifts of this new life make all that came before it so sacred and worthwhile. To honor and accept the past and the courage it required of us, and yet to accept that it is now time to turn our face to the light and partake of the fruits of our inner labors is what this oracle ordains. Symbolized by the headdress of cow horns with a golden disc within, worn by Egyptian goddesses, including Isis, and the symbolism of Isis nursing her divine son child Horus at her breast. The oracle of the rising sun brings with it a new day, dawn, breakthrough, end of struggle, and the genuine and stable birth of optimism and hope for you now. And so, I mean, what more can we say, right? It's like these struggles, that we are going through are only temporary. We may be facing struggles and conflict as we move through this retrograde. Things may feel like they're falling apart, but they're falling apart so that they can come back together. We are going through this intense transformational process, this intense activation of these aspects of ourselves so that we can receive all this abundance that's coming to us when it comes to our creativity, our life purpose, our path, our relationships, right? Like our divine mission. We are being gifted with so much. This is such a beautiful and profound rebirthing process that we are undergoing right now. And I am so excited. I'm excited for myself. I'm excited for each and every one of you guys. I'm so excited, in fact, that I'm also going to pull an Angels and Ancestors card as well. And we're just gonna close out with one of these. Hopefully one of these. We'll see. I mean, you guys know how it goes. If you're still watching this video at 15 minutes, it's because you enjoy that I do this. Not everybody watches this long. So I absolutely love all of you that are still tuned in. I do this for you guys. So we got Sage, be devoted and committed. Find that path, find that passion, find what it is, right? In the last card, they were talking about those rewards that we reap from that commitment, right, to our path, to our purpose, to our own personal growth and empowerment. So remaining committed to that path, right? It's going to get rocky possibly for a lot of us. We're going to feel defeated. We're going to be coming up against those walls. And so those obstacles are opportunities for us to continue to grow, for us to develop faith and courage and trust, and to really see what it is that we're made of. If we don't struggle, if we don't have a need to call upon our courage, we never develop it, right? We sit back and rest and things come easily, and we never have to learn how to be brave, right? Like the word bravery, like if somebody is brave, it's because they were afraid, right? Like bravery doesn't exist if fear doesn't exist. If a situation does not exist that's calling for that. I don't know if you guys are understanding. It's hard for me to put into words what I'm trying to say right now, and they're not helping me out. But it's that, you know, in order to call on that courage, there has to be fear present. So it's like tapping into that courage, tapping into that strength, and moving through that. And knowing that our devotion and our commitment is recognized and will continue to be recognized. And then we have shapeshifter. Transform and unveil your gifts. So this process of transformation, as we become more confident, as we step into our power, as we integrate these aspects of ourself, right, these soul gifts, all of this, and we become more confident expressing that in the world, our gifts are going to continue to develop and to grow. And we are going to continue to grow and transform with them. We are the snake shedding that skin right now. And that process can be uncomfortable, but I assure you, what is underneath that old tired skin is so absolutely beautiful. The snake doesn't worry about that. The snake understands these cycles and phases, right? It understands that underneath every old skin is a new skin, and it can't wait to show that off. So show off that new skin. And then winter, take care of your needs, right? We talked about this. Taking care of our health, taking care of our bodies, understanding that we live in these physical vessels right now. This is the home of our soul, right? And those vessels need care and do have limitations. And so we want to be cognizant of that, and we want to really take care of that. So this is just a reminder again for people of that energy. And we have the wolf spirit here, which is really beautiful. I love that. And so the wolf is that dominant energy, right? But it's also that energy of the pack, and really allowing other people to care for us as well. I'm feeling with this energy of understanding that collective energy and that tribe. And really, and there's a wolf in this one too, interestingly enough, a wolf and a hawk. So it's like this, really finding our pack and finding our tribe. I'm feeling that for people as well. We talked about that a little bit as we're moving into our purpose, and we're being drawn to the people, the situations, the jobs, the places that are really going to pull that out of us and allow us to shine and to tap into that more. And then Lord, take charge with authority. That's that Mars and Aries energy right there. That's what we're learning how to do right now. We're learning how to be that alpha, right? How to be that alpha, but also to know and to take comfort in the fact that we are part of a pack. And if you haven't found your pack yet, your tribe, I assure you they are out there. Subscribe to my channel. Start talking to people. I am here building a community of light warriors, of people on this path of self-empowerment, and like building that connection, right? The like YouTube, the online forums in general are such an incredible place of connection where we can connect with like-minded people on this journey while we're waiting for some of those people to show themselves in our reality. That's also that energy like the lone wolf is coming up too, right? That energy of like when we begin this process, people fall away from our lives. Things that are not a vibrational match as we continue to ascend fall away from our lives. And so we can feel alone and lonely at times, but just know that like your tribe is out there. And as you step more and more into your true vibration, you are calling them to you. And sometimes we just got to learn how to stand strong on our own, right? In the meantime, and that is part of that energy that we're learning as well. So rely on that pack if you have them. Understand that we are part of this greater whole, right? But also learn how to stand firm in that your own alpha energy. And then we have the Hermit, retreat and recharge. We may need to do this a lot. Like this is a retrograde, right? So it's that slow down. It has that retreat, recharge, reevaluate, and move forward from there, right? As with this reinvention energy. And then seer, see beyond the current situation. This is just that energy that we've been getting, that not everything is as it seems. Things are falling apart so that they can come back together. And everything is happening in perfect orchestration and timing. It's just whether we're willing to see that and just really utilizing the lessons and the opportunities for growth that they are presenting. I love you guys so very much. I hope that you enjoyed this video. You guys know the drill. Like, if you like this video, please give it a like. There's a link to donate below if you want to donate and support this free content that I love making for all of you. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Click the bell with the little squigglies so that you get the notifications when I put out more videos. I do videos on all different types of ascension related topics. We talk astrology. We go over the galactic calendar. We do daily readings on that. There's just so many different things. We talk about the twin flame journey. We talk about just absolutely anything and everything. There are so many different aspects. This ascension process, this empowerment process, this growth process, this spiritual awakening process is as multifaceted as we are. So we look at all of those different perspectives and aspects. Please reach out to me if you would like to get a reading, an energy healing, an ascension transit chart, any of these things. I am so willing to help. I love you. I appreciate you all so very, very much. Let me know how this Mars retrograde season is feeling for you, how you're anticipating these energies, how this video resonated, how you're doing, anything. I love hearing from you guys. You absolutely mean so very, very much to me. This is such a big part of my own personal life path and life purpose. And I am so grateful to be able to share this journey with every single one of you. Until we meet again, have a great night.